Okay, well, I restarted the stream here. Hopefully everything is going to be okay. That was a YouTube problem. That was not a problem inside of OBS or with my internet. So I'll keep an eye on it and see what it's doing. For everybody who's going to be watching this on YouTube, I'll see if I can't splice in the first portion of it, but you didn't really miss anything other than some administrative notes and getting into the Myconid colony and coming up here and talking to the Sovereign, and a small little cutscene. So if I can splice that previous video into this one, I will. We'll see what we can do. If we can't, we can't, and we'll just have to deal with it. And hopefully YouTube is gonna do what it needs to do correctly and quit on me again. So basically we're here talking to the Myconid Sovereign and have an opportunity to get some more information from him.
Deep purples swirl into familiar shapes. Gnomes in mining gear, chased by Dwergar.
The Dwergar seek a gnome. It is a guest.
The Sovereign says nothing, but you hear appreciation in its song. An illusion comes over you, a Dwergar choking on a cloud of gleaming dust.
Okay, you got a cinematic that's pending here, so it is still early access.
The Sovereign gifts you one more vision, a wall of vines parting to reveal glowing light.
Riches of magic and mind, cleanse the rot, and they are yours. You do the circle a service. We will await word.
Okay, so gave us some haste spore flasks, and you can see that he's raising dead Dwergar and turning them into servants, into spore servants, and that's something we're going to get a little bit more experience with here in a little bit. But for now, the Sovereign did say that they were harboring a fugitive gnome, and that gnome is here.
Don't.
Her condition is familiar. Poison, derived from a wild weed common to the Underdark. She'll need an antidote soon, most likely held by the poisoner.
Okay. So it says, because we passed the intelligence check here, it says that they'll need an antidote, most likely held by the poisoner. So if you go to find whoever poisoned this gnome, they're probably going to hold an antidote. But there are some other options here. We did craft an elixir of Sylvanas, so I think we actually crafted 2 of them. In the Druid Grove, you can use one of those to cure the poison, or you can also give her an antitoxin potion if you have any in your inventory. These 2 options will only pop up if you have them in your inventory. Or if you don't have either one of those, you can follow the quest and find out who poisoned her, and they're most likely going to have an antidote on them. And that's what we're going to do. Just because we're going to get the antidote, it's a quest item and we want to be able to use it to come back here and do this. So, but in the meantime, we can get some more information.
Dwergar slashed me. Graze. Don't share. Talking hurts. Leave me. Please.
Okay, so we're gonna leave and just and keep her there. You can also do either one of these 2 to steal from her or end her suffering, but there's no need. We'll cure her when she gets back, when we get back. So okay. Yeah, and everything up here is still marked as steel. Okay. Go back down around this way. Actually, we missed one. Here. This is where we want to go next. We want to talk to Blurg.
Ah, a visitor. You're a welcome sight. But let us observe the customs of the locals.
The scholar's brow tenses. His voice spills into your skull, the spores connecting mind to mind.
Blurg, proud member of the Society of Brilliance, at your service. Or perhaps not. Your mind is far more complex than the fungi. Understandable. We are small in number and rarely stay in one place for long. My colleagues and I are working to improve conditions in the Underdark. This need not be such a dire, hostile place. It's curious to find a surface dweller here. What has brought you down so deep? Truly remarkable. But why come to the Underdark, where they hold so much power? You were infected by an illithid tadpole? It's a miracle you're still intact. You must be worried sick, but have no fear. I have a friend who may be able to assist. Omelium!
I hope this is important, Blurg. My Zirkwood samples need constant attention.
It is. This adventurer has an illithid tadpole inside her head, but she hasn't turned.
No ceramorphosis. That's impossible, but intriguing. Are you looking to have it extracted?
Okay, so obviously another broken cinematic. He obviously doesn't like the Gith and Mind Flayers are mortal enemies, so she obviously doesn't like being here.
Please hold. I understand your rage against my kin. One of my brethren forced a tadpole into your eye. Or ear, perhaps. But I assure you, I stand with the Society of Brilliance, not the colonies of my people.
Okay, so you don't really have a whole lot of options here on what to do. You can go ahead and attack. That's just going to be a bad idea. Everybody in here is going to be upset with you. So the only option that you have right now at this point is to have nothing to do with him.
I will remain here if you change your mind.
But the simple solution to that is just to go back and talk to him here. But we're going to talk to Blurg first.
Welcome back. Have you made any new discoveries? The feeling is mutual, friend. I have only passing familiarity with the surface races. But I found that there is as much to learn from an individual as there is from a community. So it is with the Myconids. They live in harmonious unity, but each has a unique personality. Yes, but it has abundant natural resources. Spores, water orbs, Trillimac. I've studied them for years.
There is rare magic in the Underdark too. Fair's Rest. It radiates from the earth, warping, teleportation, and divination magic.
This is not a wasteland. It is a glorious ecosystem. Every civilization here could thrive without conflict. I observed the fight from a distance. Combat is not my field of expertise, but the Myconids handled themselves well enough.
Omeluum's tentacles flutter in what appears to be the Mind Flayer's approximation of a smile.
Open your mind to me. Let us see what lurks within.
As Omeluan's mind pierces yours, the tadpole pulses with power. It feels 10 times its size. Alive, awake, almost smug.
This is most unusual. The incubation period should be complete, as should your transformation. But the larva is infused with strange magic. It appears to be in some form of stasis. No, it appears to be shielded from physical and magical influence. And even without the shield, the extraction would involve severe cranial trauma. It is not ideal. The process would surely kill you. But not to worry. Should you transform, I will happily perform a new examination. A Nautiloid? Fascinating. I have never set foot on one myself. They were our warships during the greatest eras of the Illithid Empire. We ruled the entire astral plane from their decks. The design was lost when the Gith rebelled and ended our dominion. Of course. I am sorry I cannot assist you in its removal. But I have an idea.
Oh, perhaps I should start taking notes.
There may be a way to bypass that stasis. There are many alchemical substances that can influence the mind. A tincture distilled from a collection of rare mushrooms. They have subtle psionic influence. I would require a fresh tongue of madness and Timisk spores. But be warned, in their natural state, both of these mushrooms can be quite dangerous. Timisks cause confusion in those that approach them. The tongue is self-explanatory. My formula will hamper the more harmful effects once the mushrooms are brewed into a potion. Your sanity, however much you possess, should remain intact.
The Underdark, of course, although they are quite rare, and their discovery perilous. I imagine Lenore would have them in her possession. She served Mystra as a cleric. She is quite fond of her garden. Lenore has always been a lonely sort. Nature was her only companion. I offered her the chance to join the society, but she refused. Her experiments on Susa bark took priority.
May your travels be safe and swift.
Okay, so we got a lot of information there. Let's check our journal entries. So we got a quest to help Omelum investigate the parasite. Basically, we need to go find Lenore and get some mushrooms from her. That was left over from last time. That was left over from last time, so we got a new one from the Sovereign to defeat the Dwegar intruders. Save the refugees from leftover. Find the Night Song. That was left over from last time. So we got Cure the Poison Gnome. We did find an antidote, but we do have another one that we're going to get. And then the Chosen of Shara, this was left over from last time about finding the lair of the Dark Justiciars. So we did pick up some side quests here. And we'll go ahead and follow those up. But first, we're going to talk to Blurg and clear out our inventory here.
Welcome back. have you made any new discoveries? I do enjoy a good bargain, if anything in my private collection is to your liking.
Now, he normally does not have a lot of gold, but he has some items that we're going to look at here. So let's just go ahead and clear out our inventory here to begin with. And the first thing I'm going to do is probably split some of these out, some of these poisons and things like that. But let's clear out all these weapons that we have in here. Okay. Get rid of these books, rings, all of this sort of stuff. Okay, now we're getting down to only 4 gold left. Okay, so let's leave it on Gale and look at these items here and see what we have. So the Circlet of Blasting basically is something that's, you know, great for your wizard to have. It allows you to cast Scorching Ray once every long rest. So it's just a free Scorching Ray spell, which is great. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. I'm going to equip it here. And I'm going to keep the Circlet of Fire. So after I cast Scorching Ray, I can then swap over to the Circlet of Fire. And then anytime I cast Circlet of Fire later, Scorching Ray later, it's going to give me an extra bonus action. It's not very, you know, a great thing to have necessarily, but it's not bad either. I also can't use the Blood Guzzler garb, so now that he's got some coin back, I'm going to go ahead and sell that. The next thing is the Lifebringer. This is a lightning charge based item that basically gives you additional hit points as long as you have lightning charges. The only person who does lightning charges is my ranger, and they're currently wearing the Warped Headband of Intellect, but this is a combat-based item, so I can wear this all the time and then swap back to the Warped Headband when I'm not in combat. So might as well get it as well, so I'm going to have Gale buy it. And I'm going to send it to a ranger, and this will be, again, something else that I keep on all the time, and I just swap this out when I get out of combat. Okay. Next thing is Sunwalker's Gift. It allows anybody to see in the dark. It gives you night or infravision, or dark vision. It's the regular dark vision kind of only 12 meters and not the extended dark vision, which is 24. But I don't really think it's that useful in the game. Dark vision as a whole is good down here in the Underdark. It can negate some disadvantages because of enemies being cloaked and that sort of stuff, but it's really not that useful for me in this playthrough. And the last is the Sapphire Spark. When the wearer casts Magic Missile, each dart of force deals an additional 1d4 psychic damage. That's just extra damage. Right now, my Magic Missile and any other spell would do an additional 1d4 force damage, but only when I'm less than half of my hit points. So this gives me a constantly on benefit, so I'm going to go ahead and swap that out. And then maybe when I get... And then here, this deals to all spells. This is only Magic Missile, so maybe when I'm out of Magic Missile, I can swap to this. Or when I'm below 50 hit points, I can swap to this and empower all my other spells. But for now, that's the swap I'm going to make. So I've swapped out the Circlet of Fire for the Circlet of Blasting, and I've swapped out Ilmater's Aid for the Sapphire Spark. So a couple of upgrades for Gale as a wizard, but those, once I use that Scorching Ray, I can swap back out to this, and once I'm done casting Magic Missile, I can swap back out to this if I'm below 50% of my hit points. So I think that's it as far as cleaning out. Yeah, that's our backup weapon. This I don't need to keep on, but I've got it right now. And this I'll swap out when I get healed, and I've got protection from evil already on right now. So I think we're good. Yes.
Very well. I have mushrooms to catalog.
Okay, so I'm going to go in here and just do some cleanup. So here, going to send all of these this to camp. These are the haste spore flasks that we just picked up from the Sovereign. I am going to take these and split these into
Perhaps after I finish my research here.
5 and 11. Let's split the 11 too. There they are. Okay, that's what I wanted. And I'm also going to take these alchemical fires and split those into 5 and 15. So now those are down here. Can move them to Gale and sell those. 'Cause I'm just not gonna need them. Not gonna end up using. I'm gonna send the good berry to camp. I'm not gonna end up using it.
Perhaps.
Okay.
But at such an accelerated
I
rate.
think that's good. I can leave those there for now, and then I'll sell them later on. So, okay. So, ready to finish up from this. So now you can see that I've got options that are not steel. So now I can go look and pick up different things from on the ground here. And I'm anxious to know if these items down here, yeah, these are still marked as steel. Okay, so it's just up here in this area where I run into that. So we've got some myconids that are tending mushrooms up here. There is something that's not steel. A random spicy pork sausage laying on the ground. And there's a Timask that we learned about earlier. Okay, there's an acorn truffle here.
Damn it all.
Okay. Now I am going to cast
Alan, where are you?
Speak with Animals on myself.
Want master back. He treats me good now. Doesn't kick me anymore.
Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and talk to Dareth here. Okay, it interrupted me with another encounter here.
Far you've come. Reach into memory. Tell me of home.
It reveals its own home in the Fly. A humid cove filled with decaying myconid corpses.
God destroyed my people. I am a sovereign with no circle. This circle does not welcome me. But I have heard the song. You mean to cleanse the Dwergar rot. I mean to join you.
Okay, this encounter happens whenever you're trying to leave. It's always going to happen. So when you get within a certain proximity, this will trigger. So that's why we were on our way to talk to Dareth, but this popped up. It's just a proximity thing. So
I am the danger, and I am the cure. They erased my people. I will erase theirs.
so obviously pretty angry.
In death, your foe
Okay, so kind of just like we saw earlier, when the Sovereign was raising dead corpses to be spore servants, this Sovereign can do the exact same thing, except I'm going to be able to command those raised minions as well.
Remain in the Underdark, and I will follow. We cleanse the rot together.
Okay, and you can see that we've gained another companion here. And there is Sovereign Glut. Okay. If you click on the Sovereign, you can see they have some attacks here. They have a regular fist, which does poison damage. Also a pretty big hit. They have the animating spores, which this is an action. Can only affect one target at a time. And it will raise them up as like a raise undead, basically, spell. And then you can command them. And then they also have a multi-attack, which is exactly what it sounds like. It aims 3 attacks at the target, and the first and last each deal a certain amount of damage. So it's a pretty powerful attack that you'll see us use later on. So now let's go ahead and talk to Dareth here.
Seems the shrooms are letting in more people every day. You see a fella on his own on your way in. Dwarf. Balin's his name. Right now. Waiting for that idiot Balin's return. Unless you've seen him, we don't have much to discuss. Bald, blue tunic, dumb as a stick. Right, never mind. My useless husband. Sent him for an errand. It's no surprise he's made a mess of it. Knock yourself out. But don't come begging for coin if you find him. You try to ransom him to me, you'll find yourself skint and stuck with a fat old lout.
Okay, she also has some stuff to trade here. The only, and these are random items that you're going to get, so we're already full on ranged weapons, I think, +1 that we need. So she almost always, well, every time I've done a playthrough, she has the Herbalist Gloves, which is nice if you get a character that's poisoned. If somebody heals them, then they're no longer poisoned. But that's the only real use for them. And poison's fairly rare in the playthrough. So I don't normally spring for these, but if you find yourself getting poisoned a lot, then here's an option to help cure that poison instead of using the antitoxins, which I have here. So if I get poisoned, I've got 4 I can use to cure people of that. I also have the... Where's the Sylvanas potion? That's the basilisk oil. Here, the elixir of Sylvanas. So I have a bunch of different ways to cure poison on somebody right now, so this isn't really very important to me. But let's look and just make sure nothing else to say. Oh yeah, we can have Gale sell the poisons and that, just to clear up his inventory a little bit. And the cold resistance, I'm just holding on to that for now, but not really an overriding reason why I still have it.
Balin, where are you?
Okay. So nothing else to pick up here. And again, this is where we crossed over previously.
Can't give up now.
There's a mushroom there, but I can't click on it just due to, I think, probably the camera angles and that sort of stuff. So this is the exit to the Myconid colony here. There's also another one across the... oh no, this is the waterfall, so you can't get across there. This is the exit here. So we're going to go ahead and cross that way. There... Look.
Damn it.
I don't think there's another way out. Oh, yeah, I know what that... Okay. This area on the map. We'll be coming back to that later. So, go ahead and head out this way.
Might be
There's
useful.
some mushrooms out here we can pick up. Okay. Then you can head down this way and you can see this leads you into this village down here, which we're going to get to eventually here, but first we're going to head around this way. Okay, there's another swarming toadstool over here. Okay. We're going to come up here to this area.
These are territorial markings, and recent ones too. There are hunters around.
Okay, so we did get some journal updates here, so let's look at these. So we did get Avenge Glut Circle. He's come along with us to kill the Duergar. Find the mushroom pickers, what we picked up. Gotta find Balin here. And then finish the masterwork weapon. Remember, we needed susser bark for that. Well, we just found a susser tree. And that's here. That's what this is. Okay? So we're going to complete that quest here in a minute, but first, we're going to head up here. And these are Bibberbang. And you'll see, I'm going to kind of split just to demonstrate this. When you get close to a Bibberbang,
Proceeding.
it turns active like this. If you get any closer to it than that, it will release poisonous spores, a poisonous cloud around it. And it does some pretty hefty poison damage. So you don't want to be around it, but thankfully there are multiple ways to deal with it. We're just not going to deal with it right now. You can see that there's some knotted roots. We're going to head down this way. Okay, so everybody came down. There are these chasm creepers that kind of hang off the edge.
One with the weave.
So don't forget to pick these up when you see them.
All right. What
Okay, and then we're just going to move up a little ways into this area. Okay. You can see there's a whole field of Bibberbang up in here to deal with. So, and there's also, this is where it says Balin is on the map.
No one stopped me yet.
Okay, so we're just going to move up a little bit farther. And we're going to split the group here. And I am going to take Gale and put the river or the water dancer or the rain dancer on, just so I have that spell. Okay,
I venture forth.
move up here slowly, and we'll trigger a cutscene.
Stop! Stop! Bibberbang!
You recognize the name. Bibberbang, a mushroom that releases dangerous spores. Highly flammable.
I know that. Scroll. Escape. My bag, please. I've dropped it somewhere.
Okay, now when you get this message, if you already have a scroll of Misty Step in your inventory, you will have the option to try and throw it to him. You'll have to pass a strength check, and it's a pretty good DC, so basically want to give your Misty Step scroll to your highest strength character, which would be Lazelle in this case, and have her walk forward and trigger this cutscene if you want to do it that way. Otherwise, like I do, I don't have a scroll of Misty Step in my bag or anything right now, so I have to retrieve his bag to continue on with this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, So now you can see all this Bibberbang, but it also said that Bibberbang was highly flammable. And you can see that there's a burning torch back here with a little fire pit. Okay, so if you trigger one of these, it's going to trigger all of them, and that entire cloud is going to burst into flames and just kill everything. There's also back here a noble stock. You can see it's orange. It's a quest item. If this whole thing fills up with Bibberbang spores and then gets ignited, it will destroy the noble stock. And you want to pick that up. So you don't want to have this stuff trigger. And there's a couple of good ways to avoid that. So first I'm going to move Gale up to this point, and I'm going to jump up to here. There's a ledge up here. Now I can run across to this side. There's another ledge here I can jump to. And I can move up to the edge of this ledge. Way up here. Now if I had high enough strength, there's another ledge up here I can jump to. And another ledge here I can jump to. So you can get all the way around this thing by jumping to these ledges. But Gale doesn't need to, he just needs to get in range of this. And he's going to use his create water to basically put that fire out. So now it's still dangerous. If you trigger this, it's going to kill Balin, which you don't want. But if you do trigger it, it's not going to blow up and get rid of the noble stock, which you definitely don't want either. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to bring Gale back. Okay, bring Gale back here, and then I'm going to swap the Rain Dancer out again because I don't need it. You can see how useful it is to keep it around. That water stat, or that create water spell is very, very useful to have on tap if you need. And I'm going to take Lae'zel in here just because she has high strength and she can jump the farthest. So I'm going to jump her up here, go to the end, jump her over here, get down to the end here, and I'm going to jump her down here into this area. Okay. Now, if you look closely, Balin's pack is right here. You can slowly move Lae'zel down through here till she gets into a spot where she can search that pack. I'm going to send these to camp. Send that to Gale. I'm going to split this, and I'm going to send one of them Gale, and I'm going to keep the other one. Okay?
What are you doing? Get out of there!
Now that I'm here, I can kind of move closer. And actually, I'm going to move back one. And you can see she can jump all the way into here. So I'm going to jump as far as I can here. And you can see it doesn't trigger them. And then you can talk to Balin.
Bag! Stop! Stop! Bibberbang! These mushrooms! Toxic! Scroll! Escape! My bag, please! I've dropped it somewhere!
Okay, so this, I think, is actually a bug in the game. It's basically triggering the same type of cutscene exactly again. It's just giving me different options because I didn't pass the nature check, and now I have a scroll of Misty Step. So I can now give it to him here. But I think this dialogue probably is different. This might be a bug. Instead of just being able to give him the scroll here, it's kind of gone through the same cutscene again.
Yes! That's... Yes! I just have to... And then... Here! Wait. It's alibi!
Okay, so now he's jumped out.
Ah, right. What were you saying?
And he jumped out here back in the back where the rest of my characters are, so it triggered another cutscene with my ranger.
I was looking for... Dereth. She'll be worried sick. I must... need to go. For you. Your trouble. Ta.
Okay, so he gave me a scroll of invisibility as a reward. And now I need to go through and be able to pick up the noble stock. Now, there isn't any way for me to pick up the noble stock without triggering one of the Biberbang. You can't, even if, and you can walk to a point here and jump over to here and then walk around this way, but you can't get close enough to pick it up without triggering them. And when you trigger one, it's going to trigger them all, and it becomes a problem. So what the safest way to do this is to then jump yourself back. Okay, and she has enough strength to be able to jump back up here on this ledge. Okay. So then I can jump up here to this ledge, and you can kind of walk yourself around to here, right? And you can jump up here to this ledge. Okay. And I don't know, kind of a good question. I don't have... Okay, you can jump over here to this ledge and get yourself over to this side. But again, even if I'm able to jump down here, I'm not able to grab the noble stock. Now, Mage Hand, it's here, her psionic ability. It says that it's able to manipulate and interact with objects. I've just never been able to see it do it. I'd love to be able to cast Mage Hand, because Mage Hand does not trigger these. I'd love to be able to cast Mage Hand and go pick it up, but I've never been able to do that. It doesn't want to... The hand does not want to interact with it. And if I cast it right now, it's going to lose my concentration on protection from good, so I'm not going to do it. But now that I'm here, what I can do is, you can see I can shoot a large number of the Biberbang with my crossbow from this location. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to just start shooting these, and you'll kind of see what happens when they trigger.
Show no mercy.
Okay, you see? They all become active and they all trigger, and that fire, which was right in here, would ignite all of this. Big explosion. And for 31 turns, the fumes are going to remain. So I'm going to keep shooting the Biberbang here and getting rid of them. And you'll see it stays at 30 turns it's going to take for me for this all to go away. So I'm just going to basically open up a path to get over there and be able to pick up the noble stock without any of them going off. See, from the high ground, she can shoot a long ways with the crossbow, so just gonna clean as many of these out as I can. Okay, so now I've cleared out a pretty good path here. I do want to try and clear out some of this if I can reach it. I can't reach that. Because you do want to go over this way. Okay, and now I'm going to head to my ranger here and clear out some of this.
I'll strike you down.
Okay, and I can reach these from here, so clear them out. Okay. And the timer is going to sometimes reset itself. That's just how it works. Okay.
Enough waiting. I crave blood.
Okay. Oh, there's one more here. Okay, so that's cleared them all out around the noble stock. And it's opened up the way here for me to get back this way. So now I can just wait. I can bring Lae'zel back. And I can group everybody back up.
And, well, in it.
Okay, and now you just wait for the 21 turns here for this cloud to subside. And then we're going to head over here. There's another chasm creeper down here you can pick up with some wealth candles as well. And then we're going to go pick up the noble stock. Actually, I missed a Bibberbang here, but hopefully I'll be far enough away. I think I will be. We'll just wait here a second. There are multiple ways to do this. If you pass a persuasion check on Dareth, you can find out that she actually sent him out here looking for the noble stock. So you'll know that you need to pick up the noble stock. If you've done it like I do it, like I've done it, and you don't know about the noble stock, it's very easy to miss. And you might think you can just, blow all this up and clear it all out, and in doing so you'll miss the noble stock. But since we know it's there, I wasn't going to try and do a persuasion check or convince her to do it, because I know it's here, I know how to do it. So, but this is just one way to do it. Again, what you can do is you can follow around the ledges around, or you can use a high strength character to jump across here. You can pick up the noble stock, and when it starts to trigger that cloud, you see it takes a while to propagate around the map. You can have whoever picked it up and triggered it read a Misty Step scroll and Misty Step back out to here. And all of this stuff is still going to trigger again, and you won't be able to pick this stuff up over here. Or unless you have... Sorry, had to pause for a second. There's a little spot right here you can Misty Step to as well. But it doesn't really get you very much because it's still covered in the clouds there, so...
At the ready.
But now we can go over here. I'm gonna break the group. Send Lazelle over here.
Proceeding.
And there is something that we'll need to, and I'm gonna try and pick up the noble stock. Okay, perfect. We did it without triggering it.
Still alive.
Now I'm gonna send
That's progress.
a ranger over here. Okay,
That might be
there's a
worth a
dirt
look.
mound here. And then around this corner, we're going to take Gale up here. There's a chasm creeper here. And now in here, I think there are 7 of them total of these Loth's camp. And there's also a couple of camp supplies in here. And that's it. And the camp. Head back, group everybody up. Okay, now if we check our journal again, we found the mushroom picker, and we should go back and talk to Dareth about it. We're not going to head back to Dareth yet. We're going to continue on, and we'll finish up a few of these quests at the same time as we head back, so we're going to climb back up here, and we're going to very carefully move ourselves back this way. Okay, and you might be able to see, yep, there's a hook horror back here. So we know that we're getting into some areas with some enemies. There's another one over here. So we know that we've got some hook horrors here. Now what you can do is you can leave these untouched, so to speak. You can get into combat and you can lure the hook horrors up here and then shoot these to release the clouds and then hit them with a fire cantrip, you know, like firebolt or something like that, and blow it up. The timing on it is just really hard to execute. And the hook horrors have this Pounce Attack, which can move them a really long distance, and their dash moves them again a really long distance. So I don't normally tend to rely on that very much. I just end up shooting them and clearing them out. And it does the exact same thing as previously. But we're not going to wait for the timer to expire here. Alright, we've cleared them all out. So now we're just going to have Gale shoot a firebolt cantrip up here.
My turn.
And you can see what they do. What happens with them. And they're pretty spectacular explosions. So that's what you could have been caught in down there if you weren't prepared for it. So I'm going to toggle everybody into hide. I'm gonna move up here and I'm gonna actually get my Raven familiar out. I'm gonna hide my Raven. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to pick up the swarming toadstool, and then I'm going to kind of split the group and get ready for combat here. Okay, now you can see that there's a Susur bloom here, and it says there's a Susur anti-magic field that goes along with it. You inspect this, you can see that it says they nullify nearby magic. So if you stand in range, and you can barely see the range, you can see the globe that it's covering here. If you stand within range of it, you can't cast any spells. So they can be both good and bad, because they can, it's basically a silence spell just with a 5-meter radius or something like that, that's permanent, that never runs out. So you can utilize them to good effect for some things, but the other thing you can do is you can pick those. You can see it, you can pick them up. If it's in your inventory, it's going to still project that field. So for somebody who doesn't cast magic, say your fighter, for instance, they can put one of those in their inventory, and they can go up and stand next to somebody who can cast magic, and they're within that that bubble, and that enemy can't cast magic at that point. So it can, that has some very, very interesting uses. I'm just not going to deal with it at this point. Going to kind of do this the old-fashioned way here and see if I can get any hits here. Okay. On this hook horror as he moves around. Yeah, I don't want to move up to do it. There is another one up here. That one's too far away though. Here, I can do it. Okay, stealth was successful, so I'm just going to keep shooting as long as stealth is successful. Alright, so stealth failed, and it got initiative and cried an alarm. So it's going to be attracting the other hook horrors now. But I might be able to kill it. Okay. So now I'm immediately going to hide again. And yeah, none of the others reacted to that because he cried in the same turn that I killed him. If you end your turn and he's already cried an alarm, then it can be a problem. And you'll attract the others that are down here. But here I don't have to worry about it. And you can see when he stands up here, I can get a shot at this one. And you will instantly see what their next attack is like.
Still in shadow.
So I'm going to actually move Lae'zel all the way down here.
Can't see a thing from down here.
And move Gale and Shadowheart farther down this way. And I'm going to get ready to initiate this attack. Okay. It's going to want me to move all the way up here into the anti-magic field, which isn't necessarily a problem for me because I'll be able to move back out of it. See? It lets you know, and now see all my magic casting has gone away. Okay, it's not important for me right now. I just want to be close enough that I can get an attack on the horror here. Okay, so I've got initiative. I'm still standing in the field. Okay, so I need to move out of the field to reapply my hunter's mark. Okay, and now I can fire again. Alright, now I can end my turn. He's surprised, so I get basically a free attack out of that, and I'm going to attack again. Okay, that was a miss. So I'm going to end my turn. Okay, so it used its turn to cry an alarm, which is fine. They're quite a ways away at this point. Okay, so I'm just going to keep working on him all the way from here. There's the Pounce Attack. And I failed my saving throw. Okay, actually I passed it, so I stood back up. Okay, so you see how much ground they can cover with that Pounce Attack? And I have 2 more, which have moved up here, but they're not in combat yet, which is good. And now I have some options here. So if I go to Lae'zel, you can see that the detection code's pointing this way. So I can move Lae'zel up right behind the core here, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to initiate an attack. Okay. That put me into attack. Now here, my Raven is the next thing up. So I can go attack with it, sure. Why not? Okay, yeah, I forgot. Hook horrors are immune to being blinded. So I can end my Raven's turn.
No choice but to keep going.
For Valen's turn, I have the glaive now. And I missed. Great. Okay. So now I'm going to attack with Glut. I'm going to do the multi-attack here. Okay, and that kills him. And now I'm going to use animating spores on the hook horror. Okay, it does that initiative just because the hook horror used to be an enemy. But that's it. Now you can see I've got a veritable menagerie following along behind my ranger. So now I have 2 more hook horrors to deal with, but I have another friend along with me to help deal with them. So I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I'm going to move Lae'zel back here kind of out of the way, send her into hiding.
Still breathing.
And now I'm going to put everybody here in hiding as well. Okay. Now the hook horror, you can heal it. Short rests do not heal animated enemies. You have to cast a healing spell on them to get their hit points back. So I'm not too interested in wasting healing spells or scrolls on them to heal them at this point. But I am going to move myself into a position here where I can attack the hook horror that's going to be up if they come up here to the top without moving out of this spot. And if I can't reach them, then I can move down farther down this way and get attacks in that way. But I'm going to see how far they come up here. Okay. Okay, so it looks like he's only coming up this far, which I won't be able to reach from here. We'll just make sure. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to have to move down to at least here to get that shot off. Oh, he is moving up here now. I wasn't ready for it. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and just move down to here. Oh, he's coming up. We'll give it one more time. One more time. Okay. Let's go ahead and move down to here. Okay, it's saying it's too far to attack him from there. Sting. Because I don't have the high ground anymore. Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get everybody grouped back up, and we're going to move down below.
Ready for anything.
A wizard, not a cat burglar.
And we'll go ahead and move down here.
Lies before me.
When you move down below here, you want to be a little careful about where you actually go. You can see where the detection cones go to. Okay. So I'm going to split the group here.
With every breath, a purpose.
I'm going to move Lae'zel down here to the very bottom.
Seen. Out of sight, out of mind.
And it looks like they've moved out of their investigation routine, so it appears that they're back into their normal patrols. Except this one up here is now moved off, so we don't really know where they are. However, up here in this area, there's also a magician, a wizard up here, that can get triggered into combat as well, so
Ready for anything.
we're going to move up with Lae'zel and investigate a little bit.
Not one false move.
Okay. Good, there's a waypoint down here. That reminds me, might as well save. Okay, and you can see the detection cone here. There's another hook horror up here. It should be safe from its detection. And you can climb all the way up here, and there's the other hook horror down there. Okay? You can climb up into the trees, into the tree limbs here. You can see there's a pathway all the way up here. Cool. But what I'm going to do, I think, is trigger this one, if I can.
The end comes.
Okay, so that was a critical hit. Alright. He got the initiative, he moved down, and critical miss. Here's the magician, here's the wizard. Okay. Alright, so again, Lae'zel's the only one that's in combat right now.
I can be subtle sometimes.
But this other hook horror is still moving around down here in this area, so you need to be kind of conscious of where they are. So there might be another path to get around here and get to the side of the hook horror, but not while I'm trailing everybody else around back behind me. So what I'm going to do is take my raven. I'm going to fly right down here by the hook horror. Should be able to fly into this area here. Okay, so it did see me, even though the detection cone wasn't there. It did see me.
This is no fun at all.
So check with Gale, and yeah, the detection cones have now disappeared, so I'm not going to be able to see a whole lot. So let's get Lae'zel's attacks off her first. I'm going to do a menacing attack first. Miss. That's not good. Okay, so it did get dazed. That's good. I'm gonna go ahead and action surge. Try that again. Wow. Just wow. I mean, seriously.
Such an undignified
It just,
position to find oneself.
just, wow. Okay, so now I'm gonna move in with this hook horror here. See if I can make it without getting detected. I'm not sure if I can, but we'll see. I think I'm gonna get seen here. Oh, maybe not. So let's attempt to pounce. Actually, I think it's immune to being knocked prone. So let's try and pounce up to here. I think he's going to see anything that I do here. Let's see if we can move up a little bit more. And now can I pounce past him? I can. But I don't know if he's going to see me up here or not. Yeah. Okay. But he might go after the hook horror instead. That's not a problem. Sovereign Glut. I don't want to get the Sovereign involved in this combat yet. I think I can do this without them being involved.
Onward.
Oh. I'm going to try a piercing shot here. 91% chance. Okay, good. And then I'm going to bring Gale in.
With haste.
Might as well use his Scorching Ray here. Perfect. Build it. Outstanding. Okay, so now that detection cone has disappeared a lot. So I'm gonna move.
I am fury. I am death. Don't want to think about why my eye is itching.
Trying to see the detection cone and I can't see it. So I think it came down to right around here. So I'm gonna try and get my ranger up on high ground. Oh, nope. Okay, there's the detection cone. Okay, so I can... It looks like I can get past it. So I'm going to try and get up here. Okay. That should work. Now I should... I'll have to see if I can get around behind him or not. It can all depend on what happens with the detection cone with this hook horror. So, let's try and walk around. Okay. He walked into the detection cone went the wrong way. Okay. Alright, and now he's got mirror image up, but I have advantage because I'm in hiding. I think I'm going to... Now that'd be my last one. So I'm gonna brace. Ah, bracing. Even though I was behind him, it put me into combat. Okay. So now Lazelle is done. She's not actually done. She can move.
On the move.
Now I'm going to end her turn. Okay. So Gale's up next. I can cast that one magic missile here. Much too far. I don't think I can get close enough to cast anything on him. Yeah, I can't. Okay, so I'll just end my turn with him. And my Raven. Let's fly up to here. Fly up to this side. Attempt to blind him. Nope, missed. Because of the mirror images. Let's see, I got rid of one of them.
Can't give up. Not now.
And she's not going to be able to make any attacks from this distance either. So let's just go ahead and move her up.
Have to keep going.
Okay, and now he's going to get his attack off here. So we'll see what he does. Okay, put my Raven to sleep. That's perfectly fine with me. I'm going to use my last one here to recast Hunter's Mark. Okay. Now I'm going to get my Hook Horror to attempt an attack first, so I can get the benefit of... I'm going to try and pounce. Okay, good. Failed his saving throw, so he's prone. So now I can use multi-attack because it's on a prone target. Okay, so I got one miss and one hit. Now I can go back to my Ranger, and now I get the benefit, since he's not at full hit points, of Colossus Slayer. Perfect. Right. And my Raven is still asleep. That's going to wear off. There it is. Okay. Alright, so there's one more Hook Horror over here. So we're going to go ahead and trigger this. Try and do it a little bit strategically. So let's move everybody back here around out of the way. Sovereign Glut is way up where he should not be. Oh, he's in combat. Okay, so I need to now get everybody into positions to attack him. So if I reapply Hunter's Mark, I don't want to do that yet. I just want to get a shot off. Now, Hook Horrors don't ever carry anything in their inventory, so I could have used something like a Thunder Arrow there and tried to knock him into the abyss. But for me, it doesn't really how I kill him here. So, okay. So all of my characters go into combat at the same time, but Lae'zel is not, and he's still faced away. Let's put her into hiding.
Light steps.
We're gonna walk around behind it. And you could attempt a push attack here. A shove attack. That's too heavy to shove. So I'm going to go ahead and get another menacing attack here. You could actually try a pushing attack here. And do the same thing. And yeah, see, it's... Actually, I don't know what that means. I don't know what the red dot means. If that means it's not going to push it into the pit, or if that means it's going to fall into the pit and it's going to die. I don't know what that means. But either way, it's the same damage, so let's try it and see what happens. Oh, you can't shove it because it's too heavy to shove. So the push and attack isn't going to work. That's what that means. Okay. So put her into combat now. So Gale, I can now move up.
Unseen and unsightly.
And Gale, I can actually move up top, I think. I can move
Have to keep pushing.
Shadowheart with him while I'm moving him. Get him up here. And let him cast Magic Missile on the hook horror. Oh wow, perfect. Bye. See ya. But again, it doesn't matter with them, they don't carry anything.
It shall be done.
So
There's no time to waste.
we're gonna move everybody kind of back here to the bottom of this. Okay. And you can see there's a bunch of stuff up here. So we can search the half-eaten gnome. Nothing there. You can search Philro the Forgotten. Okay, he's got some notes. Okay, so it talks about an adamantine forge and a protector comes up out of the magma and talks about a hammer that's hot. Okay, and it has a map.
According to these notes, there's an adamantine forge down here. Too bad the rest of the note is pure gibberish.
Okay, so we're gonna pick that up on an icy crystal. Okay, don't know much about it yet, but it has shallow grooves running along the bottom as if it's used to be attached to something. Okay, so we can come back up here and we can pick up all of these supplies, and a tattered scroll is right here. Okay, we're going to search the pouch. Nothing in it. Search the crate. Back. More camp supplies. There's another pouch here. Some books. Okay, there are some camp supplies here on the table. Okay, and that's it. There's a pile of bones here you can search. I apologize. Forgot about that. Okay, so let's open up her inventory and clear out all these camp supplies that we had picked up. Almost done here. And I did pick up the extra grease bottle as well, so. Okay, so now we can head back down here. There are some piles of bones that you can search. These don't normally have much in them, if anything. So if you miss them, not that big a deal. But you can search the hook horror and you'll see they don't have any inventories. And that's standard for all of them. Okay, we can get our group back together here. And we can look and see that there's susser bark up here. So let's actually split the group and get
Onward.
the head up here. You can see right there is susser tree bark.
I've got the blueprint and the Sousa bark. Now I need a forging tool.
Okay, you need a forging tool. And You remember the adamantine forge that we were just talking about? Okay, so you can see here we got the Susser tree bark. That on Fallon, and now we can group everybody back up. Okay. So now everything's finished here with the tree, so we can continue on around this way.
Never wanted the easy path. I'll take that.
Pork loin just laying on the ground. Okay. There's another way up to get back up top, up here, which we've already been. Okay, finish that combat, so let's do another save. Testings you can pick up. Perception failed. Okay. Split the group and bring Gale over here.
My faith
Right,
protects
and
me.
for her, we'll cast guidance on herself and see if this is going to get the perception done. Nope. Alright, so we're not going to be able to get that dirt mound. There's a tombstone here, and you know, I don't think I've ever interacted with this before. So we'll see what happens here.
The rock under your feet juts upwards, forming a perfectly engraved tombstone with a small epitaph. In memory of Myrna, a shining light in this dark world, may you forever gaze upon the lake you loved to play in.
Okay. Interesting. So... Kind of afraid to do this, but I'm kind of intrigued about what this is going to do. Oh well.
As you dig, you slowly expose the skeletal remains of a large dog wearing a chunky leather collar.
Strange collar. It's got runes all over it. I wonder what they say.
Interesting. There's a dog collar. Surrounded by a plethora of indecipherable runes. A Myrna is engraved on the tag. Surrounded by a plethora of indecipherable runes. Interesting. That was probably something bad that we did, but who knows? We'll see.
These boots have seen everything.
Okay. Now we can continue head around into this unexplored area. Skeleton here. And this is just another way to get over here from the other side by crossing across the Susser tree. We're going to head back and stay close to this edge and open up all of this area of the map here for view. But there's no way down over here. It's just open it up for view. Then the only way forward is to go this way. Okay, don't forget that there is another chasm creeper over here you can pick up.
It is time. We take death to the Dwecker.
That's true. Oh, and the other thing about Glut, that you might have missed is that he said remain in the Underdark. He's only available to you in the Underdark. So you can't leave and take him up to try and fight, you know, the Spectator, or fight, you can fight the Spectator here, but you can't use him to go fight the Gith Yankee Patrol or anything, or any of the other harder fights that are up in the overworld. He won't be able to follow you up there. We can loot this Myconid.
Would be a terrible shame to lose you forever.
Hey, and this is...
Yes. Do keep your wits,
Interesting.
Shadowheart. Should a dagger suddenly slice your neck, we may never know who's to blame.
And we can go get the Bullywug Trumpet up here. And this takes us back up where we've already been. Here. So, what takes you up this ramp this way? But now we're going to get ready to head down into the camp here. Okay. So we're going to put everybody back in hiding as we go through this.
Be on my way.
Okay, 2 ways to go here. We're going to go ahead and head up this way first. Another Bullywug Trumpet. Lots of mushrooms everywhere down here, as to be expected. Okay. And this way, I don't think there's anything in here. I've explored this before. Can't ever... Blocking the way? No.
Taking my time in the shadows.
Interesting. Why can't she move? He can't do anything.
Keeping my head down.
Somebody got left behind. That's her way over there. Okay. I don't know how she got left behind. Interesting. I thought this was her. I thought Shadowheart was her. I just saw the silver armor, but it's not. Okay. So I've explored this before. I don't think there's anything over here that she can jump to or anything like that. I don't think there is. I think it's just an outcropping over here, so to speak.
Better make my next move.
Okay, so now Lazelle's back in the group, and we'll get her hidden.
Breeds madness. Like its eyes only.
Now she should be able to be following us. Okay. And heading up here, we've already been this way. This takes us over into this area of the Myconid colony, which we were already at, so we don't need to go that way. We've already searched these two here. So we can head down this way. And we have another way to go over here. And we have some gnomes over here. And the short sword of First Blood. Actually really interesting. And we'll look at it here in a second. Toadstool that we can pick up, and then Just another way up and around over to where we were a long time ago. Now here, I'm going to split the group again and just explore this real quick and make sure. I've already explored this before, but I don't think you can jump to anything from here. Now, this target is too far, but I do have, I think it's on my range.
I can't waste any more time.
Yeah, it's got the Misty Step scroll. Or the amulet. So
Light on my feet.
just want to see if there's a place over there to land with Misty Step. Okay, yeah, there's not. Okay. I was just checking to make sure, because you see there is a section of the map over here. So I was just seeing if there was a place that you could Misty Step over to get to something, but there's not, at least at this level. So group everybody up, and there is some rope netting here. Which takes you down into this area. Here. I'm actually going to head down this way because I want to get into this area. See why here in a second. I'm just going to head back up around this way. And we're going to get into some action here pretty quick. Okay, so this is where we first came down into the village. So now we're going to head over to the right. Okay. Now we're going to have some enemies down here. So we're going to want to split this up. And take this slowly. Okay. So I missed that perception check. So what I'm going to want to do here, see if I can pounce over to here, and I can. So we're going to initiate some combat here. Let's just try and pounce to here. Okay. Okay, well, I won't be able to leave him there because as soon as my ranger moves. So let's take our raven and fly into here. Okay, interesting. Okay, I think this is the first time this has happened. Okay, so I guess the only way for me to initiate this
Never wanted the easy path.
is to do it with try and move Glut back here. See if she'll stay.
What now?
Interesting that okay. Aha.
What? Gek! Got someone sneaking up on us.
Okay, now there are a couple different ways to handle this, but because Glut is with us, it doesn't matter if you hold your hand up in peace or not. They're going to recognize that Glut's with you and they're going to attack you.
You got a bloody rot flower for company?
Yep.
Must have let it get in your head. My axe will fix that in no time.
Okay. So now combat's initiated. My Raven got initiative. Good. So that gives me some opportunities here. We have two enemies that are invisible. Okay, that you got to watch out for. And then we have Gek Cole, who is up here. He's the level 5 fighter. He's the real dangerous one. And we have Holvik, who is there. These two, Lurgan is actually right here, I think. So I don't think he can go anywhere. I don't think he can get past my hook horror, so he's probably going to initiate an attack there first. But let's see what we can do. So my Raven is first. And then, so, yeah, on Holvik. So let's see if we can get a Rend Vision on Holvik. Great, didn't. So maybe he'll attack the Raven. Nope, put Hunter's Mark on a Ranger, so. Okay, so we are going to move her out of here so that we can get distance away from him. But we are going to try and keep us in a spot.
Very well.
Where we can still see back here. Okay, and now we're going to initiate an attack on Holvik. Okay, good. Alright, so that broke his Hunter's Mark on me. It broke his concentration. So now let's see what we can do. Wow. Gale was all the way back here. So Shadowheart. Okay.
Step by step.
Best step softly.
The party keeping mechanisms on this have gotten a little bit stranger.
How much longer will this take?
Okay, so we'll move them all over here. Okay, because something that we want to do is we want to get ourselves in a position to take out this rope ladder, if we can. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to use Shadowheart to do it.
I'm ready.
So let's see what the best approach for this is going to be. It might be coming down here and going around this way. But I need to get right here. The problem is I don't think I'm going to be able to get there because Lurgan is sitting right there. So I think I'm going to want to keep Shadowheart out of the fight for now. And the same thing with Gale.
It shall be done.
My patience wanes.
Lae'zel, I can get her into the fight. So now it's going to be a question, since he's invisible here, I can't see his detection cone. So we're going to
Still on my feet.
Okay, so right now, the Sovereign Glut is not in combat either. And neither is the Hook Horror. Yeah, but see, you can't move there, so... Well, let's just move Lae'zel up. See how far she can get. Yeah, see, her to jump in here. You can get there. I don't think she's going to be able to jump through. Don't think the game's gonna let her, but we'll see. Yeah. Oh, okay, so she did. She did make it. Okay, so Holvik is next. So we want to try and kill Holvik here. The question is whether or not she's going to get seen when she does it. Perfect. Okay. So now I've got here and the other two that are invisible. One of them is up here. Novice, I think the Novice, no, Novice Gamor is down here. And Lurgan should be right here, but we'll see what happens when I end my turn here. Okay, because there's nothing else they can do. Yeah, Novice Garmor's down there. He's going to raise these zombies and cast Guiding Bolt on me, and there's Lurgan right there. Okay. So... see how we want to play this. This Drobalin's going to be the next one to go. Because I can destroy this rope netting as well, but they still have another path to get up here using this. So you really want to destroy this rope ladder. That's what the ultimate goal here is to destroy that rope ladder. And you can't get there this way. You can only get down this way. So the goal is to try and knock him off. Okay, so couldn't fly there. And flies too much now. That used up too much of his movement speed, so we're out of the way.
Another fight.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, I'm gonna reapply the hex. Okay. It's gonna be bad. Because I can't get to position. Well, maybe I can.
These boots have seen everything.
Yes, I can attack it. Awesome. I'm gonna need... That's only 2 to 6. So I might actually use an arrow of fire. Guarantee this kill. Perfect. Okay. Now these guys down here can't climb up to me. The only way they can get to me actually is by going here and all the way around here. And I don't think they ever do that. Well, they haven't done it in my playthroughs yet. So whoever's down here is really trapped so far. So, but we'll see what happens as we go. Got one more, or Novice Armor, I think, is down here still. Yes, he is. Okay, so see, they're not moving to come up here because there's no way for them to get up here with that gone.
Infitio.
Okay. So we did get a hit here. Not enough movement to get to him. So we'll throw a piercing shot at him. Only a 36% chance to hit. But still better than nothing. Okay, good. It was a hit. Then we're going to cast Second Wind on myself. Get those hit points back. We're gonna move as close as we can.
Make way.
Try and get his attacks to come after me. Okay, and now we have my Raven, which we'll actually use to go back up Lae'zel now. So we'll try and fly out here. And we'll try and get a Rend Vision. Perfect. Find it. Nice job.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
Okay. So now if we do this, if we move, remember we're right next to him. We just can't see him. So if we move away, we're going to probably trigger an attack of opportunity, and we do not want to do that. So let's see how we want to approach this, because I don't think Misty Step, but Force Tunnel's going to do the same thing. Okay, that gets her out of the way, and now we can get some hit points back, not very many though. And we're going to try and move to a spot where he can't shoot me, which is here. Okay, now we're going to end the turn. Okay, so they are moving around the long way. One of them probably will. I don't think any of the rest probably are. Okay, he cast that on my Raven. That's fine. Lurgan did get knocked off. Okay, so when I used the Force Tunnel, he was here. It knocked him off all the way down there. You can see he took big damage going down there. I was going to try and, if he wasn't invisible, I was going to try and push him off down there anyway. So that's great that actually worked out that way. So, and I'm going to do the same thing with him. I'm going to get up close to him.
No time to waste.
And see what we have in the way of a melee pushing attack. So that's going to knock him all the way down there if it hits. Okay, he made his saving throw, but it's still got a big hit on him. Okay. Now the Hook Horror, I don't care if the Hook Horror lives or dies. So what I'm going to do is move him down here to the very bottom and see if I can pounce up next to him and knock him prone. Which I did. And now I'm going to multi-attack him. Perfect. Okay. Now my Raven. Aww. My Raven can't get in position to attack him. Doesn't look like. Oh, maybe it can. It can! Perfect. Alright, that killed him. So once it kills him, all of his reanimated zombies go with him. Alright, so now I don't have to worry about them anymore. I'm gonna fly my Raven down here. End the turn.
Where do I go from here?
Okay, so now I need to see if I can get any ranged attacks on these guys that are down here. Wow, and I can all the way from up here. Perfect.
You picked the wrong fight, friend.
Okay, was a miss. Only 42% chance, so not a surprise that was a miss, but he still has a long way to go to get to me. Okay, and I can trap him down there if I destroy these nets, but not really too worried about it. He does that quite often. He enlarges himself and kind of moves into a position where he can't really attack anybody. So can't get down here without jumping. I don't know if this is going to cause any damage or not. Caused one. Okay, not too worried about it though. Can I get any hits on anybody down here? I can on him. I think Lurgan's the more dangerous of the two, however. The target obscured's getting a bit annoying, but only a 20% chance. Wasn't expecting a whole lot. So move my hook horror here. See if I can pounce. I can't. Knocked him down. Multi-attack while he's down. He's dead. Okay. You can see the hook horror is a pretty amazing thing to have on your side here. Okay, so he's blinded. That's great.
I won't give in.
Alright. I'm just gonna keep Ravelin out of the fight here and keep using some healing. Actually, I will see if I can get her
Have to keep going.
into a position maybe to make some ranged attacks, but I'm just gonna keep healing. Okay, so we went after the Raven. See, he's not doing it. And then I can move back a little ways just to keep him from throwing things at her. And now let's try and pounce again. Okay, so he made his saving throw, so all I can do is a regular attack. Okay, so we're gonna get Shadowheart and Gale into this here in a second.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Not enough movement to get there and cast it. Just end it here. Actually, we won't.
What?
Get Gale and Shadowheart down here into the action.
Adventure awaits.
Actually, I can take Gale this way around, I think. Actually, let's not. Let's be safe about it. I know what's over there. Okay, so now Hale's in the fight. We want to move Shadowheart up to here, just so she can use her down here. We're going to use one of her scrolls of Cure Wounds on...
Take you.
Okay. Great. Didn't go through. Yeah, it did. Okay, good. Okay, we have a little bit of movement left, so we'll just move back a little bit and we'll end the turn. Okay. He's a barbarian, so you can see how dangerous.
Taste my fury.
And we'll move her back out of the way. Okay.
Time to fill some graves. What now?
Gonna reapply the heck.
Right then.
Reapply Hunter's Mark.
What fools these mortals be. Their worst nightmare.
Okay, so we used Unrelenting Ferocity to get some hit points back. None of that's going to matter, though.
Let my name be known.
Wanted that one to hit.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Alright, perfect. Okay. So a bunch of things are going to trigger off that. But we do want to group everybody up. And we want to bring... Actually, now we're going to head back up here and do some... Actually, we'll split that back up and we'll do some searching here. Do some loot.
I would follow.
Okay, so Duergar Antidote. This is what you need to be able to heal the gnome back at the camp. I said we're going to find one of these, and this is how we wanted to approach that quest. Another Scroll of Misty Step. Exterminators Axe is really nice. We'll send this to camp. Okay, head back into this room here. Got a book here to pick up. And we can search Holvik. Right. There's a faded logbook over here you can read. Just talks about what's happening here with the gnomes. Okay, there are some other things around here, but nothing worth really picking up and taking. Pickaxes, some mining tools, that sort of stuff up here.
Delay.
Just head back down here and group everybody back up.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
Okay, remember, the hook horrors aren't healed. Summons aren't healed by short rest. So I'm going to take a short rest and you can see. The points did not go back up.
Time to press ahead.
So you have to manually heal them if you want to do that. Sovereign Glut is hidden, so we can unhide them. Now the whole gang should be back together again. And we can head across over here to this side.
Have to keep going.
This is that other rope net that we could have come down. You can see that we've got some Dwegar over here. Three of these. How much do those weigh? 15 pounds. And we're going to head across to the other side over here. Before we head down here, we're going to make that our last stop. Going to break the group here so we can move around a little easier without our menagerie following everybody around. Okay, in here we have a book, another book, and we have a spatter diary, which, again, not much here. Pick it up. Okay. Sack. Sit inside this room.
No one stopped me yet.
All grouped up.
Don't waste a step.
Okay, and while we're going through here, we want to take it a little slow. Okay. Now, if we hold Alt right here, you can see we've got some holes that are listed here. You can also see that there's probably a way for us to jump across over to here. This area, we're not going to do that at this time. But there are 4 holes here, so you can just hold Alt. It's easier than trying to find where all 4 of them are here.
Empty. A bone. Dry and brittle.
Okay, so it's going to give me a bone.
Nothing but rocks.
The wall is riddled with holes. A suffocating stench of long rotten meat wafts out.
Okay, got a wisdom check for survival, a pretty high DC here. And an auto failure. Great. I'm not going to use my inspiration for it.
The tunnels were created deliberately, but whether by tools or claws, you cannot say.
They were created.
The passage narrows and bends, becoming impassable before you're even elbow deep.
Okay. They were created by claws, but there's a notification that these were created by carrion crawlers, which are another classic D&D tabletop monster. So, just gives you a clue that we might be encountering those at some point. And we have a cragged rock, which we can use to get down here. Hey, there's a perception check, and it showed this gold necklace up here. You can't reach it from down here. Go to get it. Shows you can't reach, so you have to climb back up. And you have to jump over here. And then you can go pick it up. And then go back.
Proceeding.
No time to rest?
No idea why he's being so difficult.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Now we're gonna head over here. Holding the Alt key. Sorry if you can hear my cat in the background.
Can't slow down.
Getting close for time for them to eat.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, there's a dirt mound here. Dig this up. Arrows, always nice. Then over here, see that we have Laculite. We can be able to pick up.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
Okay, nothing else out that way. We have a pier out here. Which has a half-eaten apple.
Maybe I need more pockets.
Got more camp supplies, even more camp supplies. We can search the crate, and we can pick up the boot. Okay, so let's go through our inventories here real quick. We're gonna move these over to Gale. He's gonna be selling them. We'll take a look at some of the stuff that we have. Full boots here. The bone we can drop. The camp supplies. Going there. More camp supplies. Okay. And everything else is normal. Scribbled notes, we're not going. I think we're. I'll keep them here for now, anyway. And the noble stock will move here. Okay. We did pick up the Exterminators Axe. An uncommon magic weapon does 1d12 plus 1 slashing plus 1d6 fire, but only against plants, insects, or small creatures. Okay. So it would be, you can see this is 2d6, so it's 4 to 17 versus 3 to 19. But that's very situational. That's why it says conditional on it. So the Everburn Blade is still the best weapon that I can find for Lae'zel. The Exterminator's Axe is, again, a good backup. But only against small creatures, really. The 2d6 plus 2 is still, in my opinion, better than 1d12 plus 1 plus a 1d6 conditional, situational fire damage. So we're going to probably end up selling that, but we'll keep it there for now. I think that's good.
One day I'll catch a break.
So nothing else we can get to here. So we're going to head back up. Bring the hook horror back down here. Don't know why it got caught up there, and we'll have to bring Sovereign up here manually. Okay. So you kind of have to micromanage these people a little bit.
A lot on my mind, and well,
okay.
In it. What path lies before me?
Now we're gonna head back down here into the bottom area.
What creatures live in waters this dark?
Okay, everybody's down here. I don't think you can pick up this Laculite. I've tried a bunch of times moving characters around different locations. I just don't think you can do it. Okay, so Scroll of Aid. Speak with the dead, doesn't really matter. This is chainmail. This is going to be very, very heavy, and it's going to overload Lae'zel, so we're just going to put it on a Shadow Heart for now. Okay, we do have a rune circle here. But before we do that, there's a...
That might be worth a look.
Water damage letter there, and our perception check passed on the well-stitched satchel. Got a silver goblet in it. And we can search Novice Garden. Okay, none of... oh, sorry, these aren't the bodies, or the reanimated zombies. So, yeah, these are all going to have supplies on them. We'll just go through and search all of these. Okay, and there's a reason for that autosave we'll deal with here in a second. Hammer. Okay. Now out here on the dock there's a double hulled skiff, and you said we can interact with it. If you look at your map, this is the pathway to Moonrise Towers. Okay, so this is where you're going to end up going to continue on. We're not going to go that way yet. We're going to take care of a couple of things down here. First is the blood-smeared logbook. Okay, we're going to pick this up. And now you can see on our map, you actually can't see it here. Yeah, you can. Sovereign Glut has a quest completion marker. And if we go to our journal, you can see that we now need to report back to the Myconid Sovereign, but Avenge Glut's Circle has been completed. We just need to talk to Glut about it. Now, this is very important. Here, the Poison Gnome, we found a noble stock mushroom. Well, that's something else. We'll go back there and look at something else. We also got the Social Bark. We need to head to the forge. Okay, here's the adamantine forge. So we want to finish this quest now. You want to talk to Sovereign Glut somewhere not inside the Myconid colony. If you do, things will get very, very bad. Because what's going to happen here, and I guess while I'm talking about this, I can search these. What's going to happen is that Glut is going to want to set up his own colony. And to do that, he's going to want you to do something really bad. And doing that, and before you even get a chance to, and if you say no, you're not going to do that very bad thing, he becomes angry with you and initiates combat. And when combat initiates with him, it initiates with everybody in the colony. So you really do not want to do that there. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and split this, and we're going to get ready for what's going to happen here. We're going to have this conversation here. I'm going to move Gale up top here, and I'm going to move Shadowheart up top here as well.
No one back home will ever
Then I'm gonna
believe this.
move
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Orvalin over here. Actually, I want them both facing me. There. Okay, so that's fine. And then
Assume nothing.
Lae'zel being
Quickly then.
beside me as well is perfectly fine. Alright, now I'm going to initiate a conversation here
Is that blood?
with Glut,
No,
and you'll see what
never mind.
happens.
The tumor is excised. The Dwega are dead. Here I break ground. From the dark, the mighty circle rise. My song will fill the grotto. Death doer. The grotto may sustain but one sovereign. In the age of Glut, there may be no spore. Eliminates the other sovereign.
Okay, so he's now saying that there can be only one sovereign, so you need to make a choice here. Either side with Glut or side with Spa. I'm going to side with Spa, even, you know, the help that Glut was able to give me. I'm not going to turn my back on Spa here, so...
Fate it has earned. My circle long suffered while the Dwega flourished. I thanked Spore for help, yet it cowered in the grotto and let my people be slaughtered. Choose, soul mind. Help me grow a mighty circle and reap the reward. Or protect the precious fortune as it waits for the circle of Glut to devour it whole.
Okay, so I'm going to choose to not kill Spa.
It is my right. It is my right.
Its delicate harmonies turn to scrapes and scratches.
Your corpse will birth my circle.
Okay, so he initiates combat. Now, if you, like I say, if you do this inside the Myconid colony, everybody in the entire colony turns hostile. So you definitely do not want to do it inside the colony. Okay? So I'm gonna try and take out the hook horror here. Great. Nice shot. Okay, so now Gale and Shadowheart are not in combat. So I'm gonna move them around.
Step by step.
Go into hiding. Get them into positions over here. Now I can see the detection cones. I'm gonna move down here. Okay. Ugh. Hate that.
I wonder what the next move is.
I really hate that.
No time to dally. I must keep going. Unseen. Perfect. Let's make this quick.
I really hate that. Because I would have had an opportunity to kill it with Gale. But now I can't. And the hook horror is going to get an attack off. Okay, so my concentration got broken, but it attacked before it attempted to pounce. So that was good. So I'm going to move into position here and see. Okay. So my pommel strike, if it hits, will kill it. Okay, good, it did. And now I can do a regular attack on you. Okay, nice. Now Glut's gonna get his chance. Okay, so this is why you have to get rid of, you concentrate on Glut, because every turn he's going to try and reanimate and bring more Spore Servants in. So you need to forget about everything and concentrate on Glut as much as you possibly can. Perfect. Okay.
Survival is all that matters.
Okay, so if I move, he's going to get an attack of opportunities. Might as well just attack. Okay. Try and stay out of the electrified water here.
The usurper is dead. So much for Circle Glut.
A fitting end for such a craven creature.
Okay, so let's see if Sovereign Glut has anything. So scroll of blur, hold person, all good. Scroll of blur healing, shadow heart, and all these. Not entirely sure what that's for. Okay.
How much farther can I go?
Alright, so nothing left for us to do here. So we're gonna head back up with both of them. Bring Gale here. Shadow Heart here.
All right.
And we'll bring both them up here and group everybody back up. We'll take our next short rest here.
I applaud your taste.
You. I should have brought everybody back down. Don't know why I came back up here. Okay.
Looking ahead. Another step
Because
forward.
we're just going to go straight back down. Head out through the rune circle back to the Myconid colony. And I think I am going to make a change when I get back to camp. I think I'm going to change out the the sorrow for the short sword of the First Blood and the other short sword I have in the bank. I'll take a look at it when I get back and see. The extra range and distance of the glaive to cast Ensnaring Strike doesn't seem to be as useful as I thought it might be. Wait a minute. Why do I have a... Oh, the hook horror is knocked out.
You've made a grave mistake.
Alright, so we're going to head back to the Myconid colony.
Have you spoken with Chris lately?
And we can go talk to Thula. We also need to save our... Okay, so we can give her the antidote here.
Gods! Whatever that is, I needed it. Why are you helping me? No arguments there. Felt like a hook horror was sorting through my guts. But... that cure did the trick. Quick, sharp too.
I thank you for your help, but I gotta get moving. Oh, Carl's garters. Oh, I don't have time for this. My kin need me. Seems you're the helping kind. All right. I need you to rescue my kin. Not charity, mind. We can pay. We're Ironhand clan. Best artificers in Baldur's Gate. We were on an expedition down here when the Dwergar snatched us up. I got away, but not the others. The Greys have them digging out some old ruin across the lake. Just mining for materials. Nothing unusual.
The briefest hesitation, but enough. She's lying.
But our work pays well. Help my clan, and we'll make it worth your while. I swear.
Okay, I forgot to take off the ring, so I've got a -2 from Charisma here. The 15 DC. So... nothing's probably going to help this. Oh, wow. For once, I get a great RNG.
Fine. It's complicated, but my clan has trouble back in the city. A blood feud. We were searching for something to turn the tide. That's all I can say. But it's worth a lot to us. Understand? Thank you. Only wish I could go with you. But here... I nabbed these boots from the Greys when I ran. I'll feel better knowing you're using them to kick some Dwergar ass. I'll mark where I made my escape, and wait here, I suppose. Not much choice, eh?
Okay. Well, what an amount of RNG there. That was great. Okay, so we received the Boots of Speed. The Boots of Speed are awesome. It basically allows you to dash as a bonus action, which is just awesome to get Lae'zel into the fight faster. And I'm going to just take the Spider Step boots and and put them on Shadowheart. There's no reason for anybody in particular to have these, but she just has regular boots, so might as well give her boots where she can't be enwebbed. Okay. We'll move some of these other things over to Gale real quick, since he's going to be selling them. Okay, and now we can talk to the Sovereign.
Something's on my mind.
It greets you with a harrowing elegy, cheerless as the new moon. You are one with Spore. Your throat tightens, then relaxes. The air is serene, your mind untroubled.
But I sense only silence from the Dwergar hunters. The rot is cleansed. The songs we sing now carry your spirit. You shall now be called King's Spirit. You aid us in good faith. In good faith, I thank you. The Guardian Gate is open. Go and claim your reward. But before this, I have another boon to ask of you. You have cut out the Dwergar blight, but not its source.
In your mind's eye, Spore shows you a drow striding among myconid dead.
Near, this one is called. He hunted us. Hunt him in turn. Bring me his head, and I will know my circle is safe. The drow lurks in the ruins beyond the lake. Bring him death, and return.
Hey. So now we have access to the treasures in here, but we have one more quest completion to take care of, and we're going to go see Dareth now. Because Balin has made it back.
Dink, Balin, dink! Master is back. Good. Missed him. My friend, Bibberban. Curious, beautiful, but dangerous. Next time. More careful next time, for certain. Thank you for your help. Me too, yes. Very glad. Someone's got to look after Dareth. Anyway, what were you saying? My words get away from me. You'll have to ask Dareth. She knows the ins and outs. Noble stock. Yes, Dareth needs noble stock. Mushroom. Good stuff. And the ledge. Yes, I was on a ledge. Crumbled to bits. And I tumbled down.
70 years
The shop.
of terror.
The shop needs all we find. Bone cloaks. Baldur's Gate. Anything sourced here. Very high rate of profit. Mushroom. Powerful. Dareth wants it for a brew. She's very good, my Dareth. Very good at a brew.
That old idiot.
Okay, so that tells you a couple of important things. First, that there's going to be a shop in Baldur's Gate when that becomes part of the full game, where all of these things that we're picking up here, those light fronds and that sort of stuff that you can get only here inside of the Underdark, you can sell for higher profit at that store. So sending all those things to your camp and not using them as camp supplies when you rest is probably well worth your while.
Of course, it was Bibberban.
Look at that. Got my useless old man back. I suppose that's your doing. His hands are empty as a whole. We'll have to send him back out soon enough.
Please,
Balin's got a job to do. We can leave when he's done it. Love? Never heard of it. Balin's meek now, but he used to be a rotten old bastard. Treated me like an old shoe for 70 years. Losing his mind was the only good he ever did by me. Collecting noble stock. Valuable mushroom. We've a shop in Baldur's Gate. The locals go mad for it.
How long have you been down here?
Nearly nothing it can't cure. Blindness, poison, hair loss. Probably. But Balin in his right mind wasn't worth half of noble stock. I know him better than anyone. Got the scars to prove it.
Can't keep getting lost.
To no surprise of mine, you're more competent than Balin. Go on then. Hand it over. Thanking you. I'll be on my way then. Look, I do thank you.
Of course.
Come visit me in Baldur's Gate if you find yourself that way. I run a shop called Bone Cloaks. Balin nearly sunk the shop to pay for a drink. When he was of his own mind. This might allow me to hang on a little longer. You take care out here. This'll do wonders for the shop.
So now you have an option to pick between two sets of gloves here. So, Chilling Grace, when you have less than 50% of your hit points, you have fire resistance. Or Hot Little Hands, when the wearer deals fire damage, the target has to succeed a Constitution saving throw or start burning. Now, who do we have in our party that
Have I got everything
always does fire damage? So I think we're going to keep that. We're going to go into our inventories here. Find the gloves of flint and steel. Now right now, Lae'zel is wearing the gloves of power. So she gives Bane whenever she hits somebody with an attack roll because she's branded by the Absolute, but our Ranger is also branded by the Absolute, and she has Sparkle Hands. So she's getting +1 to strength and dexterity checks as long as she has lightning charges and gets strength saving throws +1, but strength and dexterity checks when you're in combat, those do happen, but I might as well be using the gloves of power to be using the ranged attacks that she has to give Bane to basically anybody I want who's within range. While at the same time, anybody who Lae'zel hits with her sword now has to save on Constitution or start burning. So a win-win here, I think, when you're looking at it, and the Sparkle Hands, I'll just probably end up selling. Okay. So here we have Sovereign's Refuge. Right through here. Okay. See a bunch of stuff in here on the ground. So go and pick up the Lush Cap. Pick up the Scroll of Ray of Sickness. Scroll of Blindness. Mother Mushrooms. We'll search this backpack.
No traps, please.
Can't keep getting lost like that.
Then we'll search the Pale Corpse here.
The cover proudly announces this book to be Flumph Mating Rituals.
Okay, I'm gonna wait and do this. We don't have time here, so I'm gonna go through here, just finish up. Okay. Now we pick up Icy Metal. Specks of Frost cover the hole in the bottom of this chunky piece of iron where it was clearly screwed onto something. Now we have the shadow of Menzoberranzan over here. We're going to pick up. And now we're going to look at our inventories again. Okay. So the first thing being the icy crystal and the icy metal. Okay, looks like there's more parts needed here than just that. So we're going to hold on to those two things.
How long have you been down here?
Okay, and the shadow of Menzoberranzan. So it's a very, very good thief hood. Gives you shrouded in shadow, so as an action, once per long rest, you can become invisible. Okay, it's a great thing for a lot of different applications throughout the game. So right now I'm wearing the Lifebringer, so I'll gain 3 temporary hit points whenever I get lightning charges, but I think I'm probably going to end up wearing this. It's not going to look, I mean, my outfit is going to look horrific here while I'm doing it. But being able to go invisible once a day is a pretty impressive thing. So it's yeah, it's just a very powerful thing to have available to you once per day.
Of course,
so
it was Bibberman.
And stuff like that, being able to be invisible is something that definitely helps you out in the bigger fights. For instance, get Yankee Patrol and things like that, if you want to take them on. So, I think about it with our last couple of minutes here. We've gotten everything inside here. So with our last couple of minutes, we're going to go back. Head up this way back to almost the entrance, and we're going to go sell off our inventory here.
Welcome back. Have you made any new discoveries? I do enjoy a good bargain, if anything in my private collection is to your liking.
Okay, so I think there's anything here that we want to sell, but here all of these are weapons. Okay. And the smoke powder bombs are getting a little heavy. So probably want to end up doing something with them. And she's carrying the chainmail. Now, the chainmail is heavy armor. It's got an armor class 16, but you get no armor class bonus from dexterity. The only person who is proficient with it is Lizelle, but the Githyanki half plate is just OP. It's a 15 armor class, and you get an AC bonus from dexterity limited to 2. Well, she has a 14 dexterity, which gives her a +2 to her armor class. So, yeah, right there, +2 from dexterity. So she's getting a 17 AC, where if she changed and wore the chainmail, she'd only be getting 16. And nobody else that we have is proficient with it, so there's no reason to keep. Okay. I think that's all the selling that we want to do now. Yes.
Very well. I have mushrooms to catalog.
Okay, so one last look at our inventory here, and we'll move some of these items to camp.
Perhaps, but at such an accelerated rate.
I don't know what the lump of myconid flesh does, so I'm going to keep it for now, just in case. Mushroom. Then to camp. Okay, so that's it. And again, I might sell some of these extra magic items that we have laying around as well. Oh. Yeah, I could see that 30 pounds worth of smoke powder bombs is really eating her carry. We'll probably end up doing something about that coming here pretty quick. So, going to go ahead and save. Okay. On that note, I think we're going to wrap up the stream. Again, want to say thanks to everybody who's come along with me for the journey so far. Save after that. Want to say thank you to everybody who's come along on the stream journey so far. I certainly appreciate the views and the time that you spent here watching me play this game. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them in the descriptions, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can on them. Just one last administrative note. Because of the NFL football season starting here in the United States, I'm going to be streaming on Saturdays from 2 to 5 instead of Sundays from 2 to 5 Central Time in the United States. So at noon normally on Saturday, I'll put up the reminder that the stream is going to be happening. So if you want to join in, please feel free to, and I will talk to you later. Until next week. This is Commander Jorval, and again, thank you for spending your time with me. I'll see you then.
Have you spoken with Skris lately?